Want to know how to create a perfect resume and cover letter for your nursing job abroad? Then this video is for you. Hi everyone, this is Jesin from EdulogiX, where we provide you all the information you need to start your career abroad. Today we are discussing how to create a perfect resume and cover letter specifically for a nursing job abroad. We'll tell you all the information you need and give you lots of tips and tricks to make sure that you are ahead of everyone else. Whether you're applying for your first nursing job or you're an experienced nursing professional, the tips and tricks that I am telling you in this video will be very useful for you. Let's get started. Let's first talk about how to craft your resume. This is your first chance to make the perfect impression, so make sure you get it right. A good resume is the one that highlights your qualification, your skills and experience in a crisp manner. Generally, your resume should start with the contact information, which will include your name, your email address and your contact number. Important thing to note here, very commonly that I see that many resumes that I also get will have a very vague and childish email IDs that you must have created when you were teenagers. Don't do that mistake. Create a professional, nice email address for yourself and make sure to put that in your resume. If you have a LinkedIn profile, make sure to put your LinkedIn profile link in the contact information. And if you do not have a LinkedIn profile, I highly recommend that you create one. Things that should not be there in your contact information are your age, your date of birth, your marital status. Again, a very common mistake that I see is that putting your photo on your resume. No need of that. Important tip from my side here, if you are looking for employer sponsorship, it's good that you put that here and you can mention something like employer sponsorship required. Or if you do not need any employer sponsorship and you have sorted your visa already, you can mention something like full work rights available. The next section after your contact information is generally your professional summary. You can write something like compassionate registered nurse with 5 years experience in critical care and strong commitment to patient advocacy and education. Make sure to tailor-make this statement as per your job and experience. Next, we come to the education section. Now here, list out your most recent qualification first and then go in the reverse chronological order. For example, if you have done Master of Nursing and Bachelor of Nursing, then mention Master of Nursing first and then Bachelor of Nursing. Next section is the work experience section. Very important to note here, you do not need to mention any experience which is not related to your nursing profession. Similar to the education, make sure you mention your most recent work experience first and then follow up with the next one in the reverse chronological order. Under your work experience section for your each of the employment, use bullet points and mention briefly about the things that you were doing in that particular job in an actionable manner. For example, administered medications and monitored for any patient reactions effectively. So the word administered is your action verb. Another example can be conducted on-the-job trainings for new grad nurses. So make sure that whatever you are writing in the bullet points under each of your experience has actionable verbs in each of the statements. Next is the skills section, and in the skills section mention both technical and non-technical skills, but it need not be very long. Definitely customize this section based upon the job profile you're applying. An example can be proficient in using electronic health records. Next section is the certification and licenses section. Under this section, mention your valid licenses. For example, if you're an APRA registered nurse, so mention that APRA registered nurse. Another thing can be if you have recently done any kind of certifications like basic life support or advanced cardiac life support, then mention that here in this section. Next section in your resume should be your professional affiliations. For example, if you are a member of the Trained Nurses Association of India, you can mention it here. Or if you're a member of the Australian Nursing and Midwifery Federation, ANMF, then mention it here. It gives a good impression about you and it shows that you're committed to your nursing profession. Okay, now the last section generally is a references section, and mostly people either put the name of the references and their details there, or they write references available upon request. In my opinion, you do not need to have a references section because I think it is understood that if your resume is shortlisted and you're called for the interview and you're selected, then you will cooperate and of course give your references. pages for your verification. Now let's talk about the length of your resume. In my opinion, a one-pager resume is generally the best. But if not, the maximum length of your resume should not exceed 2 pages. Honestly, no recruiter has the patience or the time to read a very long resume. I suggest that you include all these sections in the resume and create a master copy for yourself. Once you have made your master copy, then you can use that resume and customize it to each job that you're applying for. Yes, you heard it right. One resume does not work in all job applications, and hence you need to make sure that you're tailoring each of your resume to the job application that you are applying for. Now let's look at how to do that. When you open the job opening, you will see a specific section which is called the selection criteria. And in that selection criteria, they will mention clearly what exactly skills and competencies they're looking for to fill this position. Now what you need to do is read the specific selection criteria, and after you have found out that you are a good match for it, you must use those keywords in your resume as well. It's quite understandable that if you do not match the selection criteria, of course you will not apply for the job. But if you think that your resume lacks those keywords that are there in the selection criteria, make sure to change it before you're applying. This is also important because most of the organizations use a system called ATS, or Applicant Tracking System, which in simple words is a software that reads your resume before a human does. How this system works is basically it matches the keywords which are there in the selection criteria and the resume and skims through it and tries to weed out the applications or applicants who are not fit for the role. Also, very important tip, do not put anything in your header or footer section in your resume, as the ATS systems cannot scan it. Once you have made the changes in your resume, make sure to save it as a PDF or a Word document and name it in a proper manner. For example, Jesin Joy resume. Many a times I also get resume which will just mention CV or resume. When you mention your name, it looks more professional. I think I have given you lots of useful tips for your resume. Now let's move to the cover letter. The cover letter gives you the opportunity to showcase your personality and also explain them why you are the perfect fit for the job. Let's again break down each of the components of the cover letter, starting with the header. The header or the contact information should match as per your resume. The next section is the greeting section, in which you can write "Dear Hiring Manager" if you do not know the name, or if you know the name, then write "Dear Mr. Smithfield" or whatever the name of the person is. Next is the introduction section of the cover letter. In this section, introduce yourself and mention the specific job that you're applying for. For example, I am Nisha, a registered nurse with APRA, and I'm excited to apply for the position of registered nurse at your esteemed institution, which is advertised on your website. Also, I advise that you can mention whether you are require a visa or you already have work rights here as well. The next is the body section of your cover letter. Explain why you are interested in this position, how your skills and experience match perfectly with this position. For example, in my previous experience at XYZ hospital, where I was working as a clinical nurse educator, I was able to implement training programs which increase the efficiency of the unit by 15%. From this example, you can see I have given them an example of the work that I have done and also given them an outcome or the result that I have achieved. So the last section is generally the conclusion section, where you are thanking them once again for going through your resume and cover letter and expressing once again your interest to apply for this role. You can write something like this: I look forward to the opportunity to discuss about my background, my skills and experience, and how they will be a perfect match for this position. Thank you for considering my application. The last section is a signature section, which you can end by putting something like "Sincerely" and your name. Before you hit the send button, make sure to proofread your resume and cover letter once again and check for any spelling or grammar mistakes. You can ask your colleague or your family to check it, or also you can use softwares like Grammarly, which are free to use and can help find out any grammatical mistakes in your resume or cover letter. A quick reminder, keep your cover letter also to one page. Keep both the documents simple and with neat formatting. Don't overuse colors or make everything bold in your resume. Also, important tip, don't use any kind of graphics or images in your resume. With a well-crafted cover letter and resume specific to the job position you're applying, I'm sure you will be able to crack that nursing job that you are looking for. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Good luck with your applications, and yes, if you need any help in your first job search or any job search in Australia, we are happy to help you in your journey. Don't forget to leave any questions that you have for us in the comment section below, and also I'm open to hear any of the feedback or suggestions for improvement of our videos. Until next time, my friends, stay safe and stay happy.